Hey there, this is Mrs. Hassler. I just want to give you guys a few reminders as you start to work on the spiral homework that goes with Unit 7. And so, the spiral homework that goes with Unit 7 is going to be addressing things like graphing lines, writing equations of lines, which means you're going to have to identify slope, points, y-intercepts, etc. Okay? And so, I just want to go through some reminders with you. When we go to graph lines, there are two forms that we're looking at. The first form is slope-intercept form. That's the form y equals mx plus b. Remember that when we are in this form, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. As a reminder, slope means that you're looking at change in y over change in x, or graphically speaking, you're looking at rise over run. Increasing is a positive slope and decreasing is a negative slope. Okay, the y-intercept is the y value where you cross the y-axis. The other form that we often have talked about is the point slope form. And the point slope form is y minus y sub 1, which is equal to m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. And same idea here is that m represents the slope. But this time we have something a little different in that we have a point, and the point that you can pick out is the point x1 comma y sub 1. Okay, so the x coordinate and then the y coordinate. And remember that we use opposite signs when picking that out. So for example, if I had the equation y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x plus 5, I would say that my ordered pair would be negative 5 comma 1, and that my slope would be negative 3. All right, I know that one tends to be a little trickier for some of us. And so when we're looking to graph, we're looking to pick out this information from the equation, either picking out the y-intercept or picking out the point. And then using the slope to get other points, we extend our graph through the coordinate plane and draw arrows to show that the line continues on forever. If we are asked to write the equation of a line, then I can identify the y-intercept or a point. I can determine the slope by rise over run, and then write an equation in either form. All right, when it comes to writing equations, again, you have these two forms to work with. When we write our equations, we're either writing in y equals mx plus b form. Remember, b is the y-intercept, and so that's in the form 0 comma some number, okay? And so, for example, if I have y equals, I apologize. So, for example, if I have the ordered, the slope 1/3 and the ordered pair 0, negative 9, I could write the equation y equals 1/3 x minus 9 because negative 9 is the y-intercept. Sometimes we might have to write an equation in point slope form and isolate the y first. So, for example, let's say that I have the slope, which is 2, and the point 1, negative 3. This is not the y-intercept because the x-coordinate is not 0. So if I want to write something in the slope-intercept form, first I would have to write something in point-slope form. Y plus 3 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 1. And then I would have to work to isolate that y. So I would first start by distributing the 2x minus 2. And so I have y plus 3 still on this other side here. And then I have to subtract 3 on both sides. And so I get y equals 2x minus 5. Now, last but not least, there are times where the slope is not given, but perhaps 2 points are given. And so if 2 points are given, I'm going to have to use those 2 points to find the slope. And I do that if I'm given an x sub 1 and a y sub 1, that'd be 0.1. And x sub 2, y sub 2, that'd be 0.2. And I would use the slope formula. Slope m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. In other words, subtract the y's and divide by whatever the difference is, or subtract the x's are. Once I do that, then I can pick a point and use the slope and write a point-slope equation and distribute and isolate the y to get into slope-intercept form. All right, that should be everything that you need to review in order to complete the spiral homework for the week. Let your teacher know if you have any further questions.